In today's
New
fire
news
news,
is about transparency in Elkhorn after city leaders threatened firefighters and paramedics with a letter to keep quiet, days after they spoke with our chief investigative reporter, Jenna Ray.
You guys seem to not be able to answer questions about the fire department.
I can answer all your questions. But
Okay, so can we schedule a time, Mr. Mayor? I would love to schedule a time to sit down with you.
In part 3 of our special investigative series, Understaffed and Under Fire, our Jenna Ray tries to get answers from city leaders as staff sound the alarm on concerns they say are impacting public safety.
If the city doesn't want to support us, then people are going to get really tired of it and they're going to leave.
The call is coming from inside the firehouse.
The people need to know what's going on.
Fire Lieutenant Tristan McNamara and paramedic Jess Nichikowski say they're understaffed.
We've only been fully staffed like a matter of weeks.
Yeah.
For like maybe one time.
Underfunded.
The city's put some money into this place trying to keep up with things, but again, it's always out of dire need.
And under fire.
The city doesn't seem to want to listen to what we have to say, but they won't come here.
guaranteed they
and
lose
see
their jobs.
us.
All of this creating the perfect recipe for what first responders say is an impending disaster.
Is it pure luck at this point
These
that
are paid fire
no one has
departments.
died on your watch and none of your personnel have been injured?
Yeah. We've had some close calls.
Yeah.
The engine in your background here has fire damage to the front end. We ran out of water. The fire got out of control. We're lucky no one was hurt.
Not only is it just a matter of time that something fatal will happen, but it's only a matter of time before more
This
people
is
walk away.
every
And then the situation
volunteer
becomes
fire
much
department
more
across the
dire.
country.
Responders are now showing up to
As
public
well.
meetings, voicing concerns and trying to get answers.
I respectfully stand before you today as a symbol of the frustration felt by myself and my crewmates.
And
Work
these
feverishly to
paid
protect
combo
citizens
departments
by
are
the Elkhorn
running
area
through the
fire.
same stuff.
Answers taxpayers also want from city administrator.
Like, it's literally
Mayor
a
Tim
problem
Kuda.
at all levels in the fire service.
It's made on the 2020 referendum. It's why Tristan and Jess talked with me on April 6th.
The community just needs to know what's going on so they can become more involved.
4 days after our interview, Fire Chief Trent Eichmann was placed on administrative assignment at the direction of the city administrator and the mayor. The same day, every member of the fire department received this 4-page letter informing them about the investigation into serious allegations involving the chief. Without describing the allegations, the letter states first responders are prohibited from deleting, altering, or otherwise modifying any records pertaining to city matters, even if such source is a personal account. It says staff could be questioned as part of this investigation, and that failure to answer questions truthfully may be treated as insubordination, and the city may draw adverse inferences based on your failure to comply with this order.
Crazy.
The letter, which is signed by Mayor Shirota, states no member can engage in rumor mongering or gossip, and that if any media outlet reaches out, staff should tell them
Crazy.
to contact city leadership. If staff is contacted by others in a personal capacity, then the letter states they're required to draft and send communication to the mayor explaining who they spoke to, what they discussed, and the direction or information they gave.
Oh my gosh.
Finally, the letter states city leaders expect full cooperation. Writing a violation of the directives in this letter or otherwise issued to you will be viewed as an effort to impede or interfere with our investigation and is grounds for termination.
It appears to be about controlling the narrative, but that isn't something I can prove. I mean, it's just what I have watched and observed that
Here's the problem
collectively as
with
the fire
having
department
non-fire
have a
related people have the decision-making power
would like us to have.
over
Swan and Shirota have denied
funding
several requests for an on-camera interview,
personnel.
despite extending our
Stuff like
deadline
that.
by 1 week, saying they're only willing to answer questions via email. I told them I'd be at their next public meeting to try and ask questions in person.
Love to sit down and do an interview with you and get some constituents' questions answered, as well as some of your staff who's publicly paid by taxpayers.
Have a good night, Jenna. Text me.
No answer to that? No interview?
welcome a chance to sit down with you and explain our side of the
Sure.
story.
Let me know
You
when.
seem interested in that.
I've reached out to
You don't seem interested
Mayor.
in that.
Can you say that I'm not
You have never
interested in that?
contacted me, but you call sometime.
Okay, I'll call you tomorrow. How's that? We can set up a time to talk?
Off the record.
We're gonna have an on-camera interview, sir, and that's what I'm requesting.
This is about what the people don't
Insane.
know. And if nobody's talking about it, then the community doesn't know.
I talked with Mayor Tim Sharota on the phone Wednesday.
It's
He told me
funny.
he's still not committed to doing an on-camera interview,
That's
but
yeah, that's not
he
gonna.
will consider it.
It's
So I-
funny
Question.
because even in our
Yeah, the
own
city leaders have been
community,
calling them unresponsive or unwilling to talk about this is misleading.
even in our own communities, the narrative of everything's fine, there's no issues, don't talk about low manpower, don't talk about funding issues, don't complain about not doing fundraising or having to do fundraising, are all, oh yeah, we understand, or you just don't talk about it. Even fire chiefs who are complicit to not recognizing, like, hey, I wish we could do more training. We really do need to have to stop having to worry about fundraising. They don't do that. Chiefs who don't do that. Fundraising is bullshit. I know I'm not scoring any points with some people, and a lot of people might think that that's, me being a loudmouth, but somebody has to talk about the problem. These people are in a paid department. Elkhorn Area Fire Department. So let's do a quick Google search. Let's see here. Primary responsibility, 25,000 residents, 100 square miles, 26 trained employees, staffed 24 hours a day. 665 commercial multifamily buildings. Let's see if there is... Chief is still listed as chief. That one was suspended. I'm curious if the call volume is listed anywhere. I'm sure I can find it. But I mean, that pretty much tells you if there's 25,000 residents, like, their call volume is super, super high. And it's crazy that, and I said this in one of my posts on Facebook, this is turning into a mini podcast. People always say, like, you can't put a number on saving lives. And no matter how you look at it, you're either putting a number on the lives of your volunteers or your staff when you refuse to spend the proper money for staffing, spend the proper money for training, spend the proper money for apparatus, equipment, station maintenance. You're putting money on their lives. This is what you're doing. Or if you refuse to fund a fire service for your community who says you don't run enough calls, and you refuse to do incentives, tax cuts, utility rate cuts, or forgiveness, whatever incentives you choose, you're still putting a price on the value of your volunteers. So no matter how you look at it, you're putting a price on something. You're either saying, hey, you guys aren't worth enough for us to do X, or you say to your community, you're not worth enough for us to give these people some kind of incentive to continue to be your volunteer fire service, or you're putting money into it. You're paying staffing, benefits, retirement, pensions, whatever it is. No matter how you look at it, you have to put a number value, and you're putting a number value on something or someone, specifically someone. You're putting the number value on your residents, or you're putting the number value on your fire people. Never will a police department go and have to do fundraising in order to pay their operation budget. It'll never happen. But yet, the fire service is expected to do it. It is literally an epidemic within the United States, and it needs to end.